Welcome back into the Sports Source, the segment of our program brought to you by Calhouns. January is your last real taste of meaningful football for a while. Be sure to combine it with the taste of Tennessee. Calhouns, pick up a party platter to take to your house as you get together with friends to watch the Bama-Clemson game tomorrow night, NFL playoffs, the Super Bowl. First, I'm cheating. That's the first week of February. Still, Calhouns.com is where you go to pick up a party pack or to learn more about their party packs and their Feed 5 and Feed 10 family packs. Calhouns, take it home with you. Have a party at home. All right, want to welcome in the next member of our panel right here. We got Bob Hodge. Bob, good to have you here.
Glad to be back.
Thanks for being here. It has been 6 weeks since the end of the Tennessee football season. It's amazing that it's already 6 weeks after the football season. That doesn't seem possible. But it's been 6 weeks since Tennessee's been without an offensive coordinator as well. For those who said, he's got his guy. He's just waiting to yeah, obviously he didn't. He didn't have his guy. We're still waiting. So at this point, I thought, let me make a list. I'll try and make a complete list of everyone who's been associated with, tied to this job on a real level. And it's such a long list, I did forget someone. But let's go ahead and take a look at this thing. People who've been named in the rumor mill. Hugh Freeze, Tennessee did talk to him. He got no SEC or ACC offers, so he winds up the head coach at Liberty. Dan Enos was a guy that people had talked about because he'd been with Jeremy Pruitt. Well, he's promoted at Alabama to offensive coordinator to replace Mike Locksley. He's not coming. Freddie Kitchens, Cleveland Browns, boy, he's done a great job there to the point that he's actually interviewing for their head coaching job and will probably stay in the NFL, so he's not coming here. Chip Lindsey, I had forgotten Chip Lindsey's name early on, but he wound up as the offensive coordinator at Kansas with Les Miles after leaving Auburn. Jim Bob Cooter, not going to be back with Detroit, but 99.9% chance he stays in the NFL. He's on the fast track there. Eli Drinkwitz wasn't talked about a lot here, but his name was mentioned as a possible candidate. He wound up head coach at Appalachian State. Kendall Briles, everyone wanted Kendall Briles here. Well, Florida State hired him. And like Tennessee, Florida State had its own Title IX issues recently, and right now Florida State is having to fend off attacks from everyone because they hired Kendall Briles. It was a risky move. May pay out, but they're paying the price right now in terms of people griping. Mike Yurcich, this is a guy who may be the only one who's actually gotten a firm offer from Tennessee. He decided to go be the pass game coordinator for Ohio State, so he's not even the full coordinator at Ohio State. And then you got three guys in gold there. The one I forgot, Matt Canada, offensive coordinator at Maryland. Jeremy Pruitt has spoken to him. Apparently that one isn't going anywhere, so he should be on that list in the white. Then in the yellow, these are the new ones.
There wasn't room for anybody else.
That's right. Steve Sarkisian fired by the Falcons. He, of course, worked briefly with Pruitt at Alabama. His name is out there. T. Martin at the bottom, fired by – this one just seems false to me. He turned you down a few years ago. Last year, he was a little upset that he didn't get a real interview for the head coaching job. He gets fired at USC after being demoted from play calling duties mid-season, and they're talking to him about coming here as reportedly a possible pass game coordinator. I'll believe that one when I see it. If they're talking to T. Martin, I think that's a favor to Philip Fulmer. We'll see. I may be wrong. They'll name him this afternoon. Jim Chaney, offensive coordinator at Georgia. Let's come back to us on that one. Jim Chaney, here's the deal, guys. I said when this thing came open, that'd be the first call I would make. And the response was, why would he leave Georgia? Same reason Lance Thompson would make a lateral move from Alabama to Tennessee. You never know what the personal life's going on. Jim Chaney's a guy who is right now, his 3-year deal ends at the end of the academic year. He's not out of contract right now, but at the end of the academic year, he will be. He was only making $850,000. He was making less than the previous offensive coordinator down there, making a lot less than Ty Helton was. This offseason, they promoted James Coley to be co-offensive coordinator, and they moved Chaney from quarterbacks to tight ends for this past season. I don't know. A lot of people around here say he likes Tennessee. That's why I thought, at worst, make Georgia pay more for him. Call, see if he's interested. We don't know if he is, but that one continues to have a little smoke. Chip Towers wrote about it, a longtime Georgia beat writer this week, which gives a little bit more oomph since now it's on the Georgia end too. To me, if this thing stretches 6-7 weeks and you wind up with Jim Chaney, thumbs up. I would give that one a big plus.
Oh, that's a home run, you know.
Yeah, you and I talked when it came open. I think we both agreed Jim Chaney would be the choice that I would make. But I was also one of those people, why would you leave Georgia to come into an unsettled situation But the longer it goes and the longer he doesn't re-sign with Georgia, he's got little legs. Little short legs, but that's the one I like.
A lot of legs, but they're small.
Like a centipede. Like a centipede
Like
leg.
caterpillar
Exactly.
legs.
Yes. Thoughts?
Yeah, and add the disclaimer, there's no such thing as a surefire, this is a home run.
Yeah,
the
could fail miserably.
Yeah, Tennessee knows that as well as anybody. But he knows Tennessee. Jim Chaney's been here with 2 different head coaches, which would be something if he actually worked for 3 different
Has a win as a head
coaches.
coach.
Yeah.
That's right. And he knows the SEC. He also would seem to fit with what Jeremy Pruitt wants to do offensively.
exactly.
Understands the importance of running the football. And you're taking him away from a rival if that's what ends up happening in a weekend where they lose a number of players to the NFL, transfers. So I think that would be huge for Tennessee to land Jim Chaney.
I've seen a number of people, though, respond, and I've had somebody tell me this face to face, and I spit my water back in their face. Well, if he doesn't bring Sam Pittman with him, I don't want him. I mean, at some point, after 20 years of crawling, you haven't won a championship in 20 years here. The last 10 years, you've crawled through the desert, and you still won't take Jim Chaney unless, well, I need a sweetener. It's like, do you know your play? You've got 47 men who've been on this list, and nobody's here yet. I think if you could get Jim Chaney with Sam Pittman or without Sam Pittman, you take Jim Chaney.
Well, and what it is, yes, there's nothing is 100% guaranteed. But with Jim Chaney, you win the press conference. And you also get, I think, some nice national pub that you did take him from a rival, which is right now the second best team in the SEC rival.
And Georgia just lost 5 or 6 guys that have announced they're going pro. They just got their teeth kicked in by Texas. The score looked better than it was at the end. I think it would.
Quarterback's leaving.
And the backup quarterback's leaving. I think that would be a big shot at Georgia.
Here's one more thing that's out there is there may be a little bit of friction between Kirby Smart and Jim Chaney. That's been out there, not just the salary, and you promote somebody. I would do that right away. I mean, to me, that's especially the longer this goes, this should have been the first guy you tried to get. Maybe you did.
That was my view. That would be the first call, just to see if, is there a personal reason for you to want out of there? And here's the thing. If he winds up playing, I think I've said this on the show before, if he winds up playing you and gets a big raise from Georgia, what do you care? You just made them spend more money than they wanted. You forced a rival into something. So, to me, if it gets there, but again, just a rumor at this point. Just a rumor at this point. We'll see where it goes. I do think it's interesting, though. It's starting to pick up some legs, little legs, in Georgia.
You wouldn't think, if he comes, you wouldn't think Sam Pittman would be coming with him because Will Friend is pretty tight with Jeremy Pruitt.
Mm-hmm. You wonder what they would do with Will Friend and who would go.
And one of the things about T. Martin through all this has been his wife is in the entertainment industry in L.A. And the thing was that was kind of holding that back no matter what.
That's no longer going to be an issue. I mean, because unless he wants to go coach a high school in L.A., he doesn't have a job. I mean, from what I understand, he's talking to Louisville about their wide receiver position. So, wide receiver coach at Louisville, offensive coordinator at Tennessee. That's why I don't. We're talking all this time on Chaney. It'll be T. Martin just to make us look goofy. Anyway, more hoops and more football to come. But next, a quick update on recruiting. A lot of stuff going on this week. Was it good or bad for Tennessee? Josh Ward tells us. Come on back.